I think screen is visible. Okay, all right. Reason is that we have to take care of these things because nobody is there to teach students in very easy way. Very few people are there, and it is depending on person to person how one person is understanding the things. But if we present the things in easy and interesting way, then a student will be able to understand the things very clearly. That is the point. So we were just talking about translator, and translators are nothing but these are just used to translate the given instruction into machine understandable code, that is 0 and 1. And as per the nature of their translation, we further categorize that translators are of two types. First is compiler and second is interpreter, right? So few programming languages use compiler, few programming languages use interpreter. So in compiler, what happens? If we write a program, if we write a code that is also called source code, the whole program is read at a time. The whole program is read at a time, and all the errors, all the syntax error. Syntax error means if we are using C language, suppose that, right? If we are using C language, like printf, and we are trying to print some integer value. So this is the exact syntax to print the value of integer. If we have integer like this, but what will happen? If we make some syntax error, this is the correct one, but if I just write in the, like I am just writing print p in capital, right? So this method is not supported in the has include studio.s library. So this will give the syntax error. This will give the syntax errors, right? So this is the syntax error that the program will tell that I don't know what kind of thing you are using. This is not in my library. How do I understand the things? So this is the syntax error. Sometimes it can trace some logical error like divide by 0, right? So if we write like we have another variable like int c, and we are just doing this kind of operation, so it can trace that it is a divide by 0 error or it is input output error. So I will talk more about types of error in further topics, but it will trace the basic syntax error, and it will tally the things. It will try to check that all the code is written as per the library of that programming language or not, as per the rules of that programming language. What are the naming convention rules, how the variables are declared, how the statements are terminated. You see, in the C language the statement is terminated using semicolon, correct? So if we are taking this example of C language, because today we are talking about compiler. So C is one of the programming language that supports compiler, where compilers are used. Like we have other programming language like C also uses compiler. We have Go, right, and Rust. So there are different programming languages which use the compiler. So in compiler the whole program is read at a time, and it will give the list of errors that we have made in the program. And due to this the code bug fixing will be faster, and the execution of the file will be faster also. And if we are just talking about the interpreter translates the code into machine understandable format line by line. That means it will read instruction line by line. If we have a program and these statements are written, if any error is found at the first line, then unless we do not fix error in this line, it will not read the next line. Correct? So it will read one instruction, then it will translate into machine code, and then it will execute. Okay, so the compiler and interpreter are very important. And in your syllabus, BTech syllabus, if you have compiler design in BTech or MTech, you will study Lex, Yak. There are different types of compiler as well, but broadly we have compiler and interpreter. So the Python programming language, right? Which languages use interpreter? So we can say Java, right? So Java is also using interpreter, and Python is using interpreter. Like we have JavaScript, that is programming language used for browser as well. But in modern Node.js or something, the JavaScript can be also compiled in your machine as well. And other programming language like Ruby, right? So Ruby, R programming language, and PHP. So these programming languages use interpreter, and here the code will be compiled line by line. Okay, so we will be using Python programming language in our further course. So it is obvious clear that Python will be using the interpreter. Okay, so what is the big difference in all the discussion, whatever discussion we have done so far? What is the big conclusion? The big conclusion is that compiler translate the whole code. Compiler will translate the whole code, and interpreter will translate the code line by line. But which is fast? Which one is fast? Compiler or interpreter in terms of execution, right? So if we talk about compiler versus interpreter, so compiler is faster than interpreter. Correct? Okay. So how these things are done? That are taken care by your compiler and interpreter. Then we start the programming. Okay, so in this course we are just taking the example of Python programming onwards. So you might have studied about the history of programming languages, right? Earlier you might have studied or heard about different types of programming languages. Like you might have heard about low level programming languages, right? Then came middle level programming languages. Then came high level programming language. So Python, or Java, or C Sharp, or you can say PHP. These are the high level programming languages, because these programming languages support the object oriented features. So we will also cover the topic what is object oriented programming, right? We study object oriented programming in Python as well. We study object oriented programming in Java as well. We study object oriented programming in C Sharp. Now, if you talk about Node.js, right? So Node.js, so this one is also using TypeScript for the web development, right? So this one is also supporting the features of object-oriented programming language. So these are the terms that you should know. You can note down. You must explore what is low level programming language, what is middle level programming language, what is high level programming language, and what is the difference among these. So note down and try to explore. If you have any doubt, you can come to me. Okay. Now the question comes, why Python is a buzzword? Now the question comes, why Python? If we are going to take all the examples related to Python, then the question comes, why Python programming, right? Why it is a buzzword? Everyone is talking about Python. Everybody is learning AI, machine learning, data science, so these are the buzzwords, and among these buzzwords Python is also very popular. So Python is not a new language. Python is not a new language. It is old programming language, but in recent last few years it came with very rich libraries, right? Python is not a very new language. Suppose somebody is saying Python just came in recent 1 or 2 year, so that is not true, right? If we try to find this one here about Python programming, right? So you will find there are things that Python programming is holding, and Python programming, when it came, if you try to find, right, which year Python programming was incepted. So you see, Python programming was initiated by Guido van Rossum. Python programming language was initiated by Guido van Rossum during his Christmas break of 1989. The first official release of Python version 0.90 occurred in February 1991. That means in 1991 it was officially released. Correct? In 1991 it was officially released. So now you can think how old this programming language is, right? Like C language and C++ and Java. So it is not very new language. It just came, the first official release of Python programming language came in 1991. The initial release included features such as exception handling. initial release. Initial release means in the start when Python programming was launched. So it has different features like exception handling, functions and modules, right? And forming a foundation for its subsequent development and expansion. The language was conceived as alternative to existing language like C and Perl. Because at that time C and C++, Perl, these languages were very famous and widely used. Even though today C and C++ are used in embedded systems, IoT devices as well, these are not obsolete. People are also using nowadays as well. But the important thing you should understand that Python was initiated by Guido van Rossum. You can say who is the father of Python programming language, then you must remember Guido van Rossum. And Python was officially released in 1991. Okay, so now you can think how old the Python programming language is. Okay. Now the question comes, why everyone is talking about Python? Now the question comes, why everyone is talking about Python? So a programming language is called a rich language. If any programming language is called a rich programming language because of its varied features. If any programming language is having so much features, right? So then it can be called a rich programming language. So in the same way, if we talk about Python, so what Python can do? We can do the web development. We can do the web development using Python programming language. So it has introduced many frameworks. It has introduced many frameworks. Now these frameworks are Django. This is the Django. Framework means it is a way of doing web development using Python. Correct? So Django is a framework. Django is a framework. It is a way how we develop websites, web application using Python. Django is not a programming. Understand? Programming language is Python. But it is helpful in web development. That means we can develop rich web application. That means you can say static website. Correct? So static website means the website which are having static nature. That means their data is not changing every day. Correct? Their data is not changing every day. And the dynamic website means the website whose data is changing every day or in very less time. For example, news website. Correct? So what will happen? The news website will have new news every day. Correct? The news website will have new news every day. But share market website or web application or app will have changing data. So using Python we can do the web development, and for web development different frameworks has been introduced in Python. Django, we have Pyramid, right? People are using as per their convenient and requirement. Bottle, right? And Flask. These are the very popular framework that nowadays people are using for the web application development. These are just framework. The framework tells the way how do we develop the website using framework. Right? But the core language will be Python. It is the way of organizing the code. So the important thing what we can do using Python, we can do the web development. Rest you can keep it aside. The next important thing what we can using GUI development. GUI development.
Okay.
Now the term comes graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. If you search about GUI, right? GUI.
Yes. I
So this one is graphical user interface. What does it mean? Earlier in the starting we had only DOS. We had only DOS,
Okay.
right? So if we open this one and put CMD, so this one is the black screen where we have everything, and this is the disk operating system. We do not have any icon, we do not have any colorful icon or directory or folders, right? Everything is here. Okay, so let's
Yes.
say we just want to explore what things are in my directory. I will give the dir command, right? So using dir command I can say, okay, on my C drive these much things are available. Okay,
Yes.
these things are available on my C drive. Similarly, if we have D drive, E drive or other drives, but everything we are just handling from here. If we want to make new folder, we can create new folder, right? So we can say mkdir, we have different commands, okay? And if I say prakhar, right?
Yes.
So, and now if we write the command dir, so if we see the directory, this one is showing the folder prakhar is created at this time, correct? So this one is created. Similarly, we can remove it, we can hide it, we can create files inside this. So if I want to go inside prakhar, right?
Yes.
So I can just write, now I am inside prakhar, and I will use the CLS to clear the screen, and I will check is there any file? No, correct? So if I want to create hello.txt, if I want to create hello.txt inside prakhar folder, so
Yes.
it will create. So I will use the notepad, and inside the notepad I can just open the notepad from here as well. So see, the notepad is opened from the command prompt. Okay, and if I write hi Python, and if I just save it, so it is just saving on my desktop, and let me name is w3. And again if I write where my file is there, so this one is not inside prakhar folder. Okay, this one is not inside prakhar folder. If I want to see, so I will have to go on my desktop. Okay, so similarly we can do so much things. Disk operating system, we can see the files, directories, we can create, delete file, move file. So this is the command line interface, CMD, command base. But is it easy for everyone to do these tasks? No.
Yes.
If someone is not having good understanding of these commands, and then it will be not easier for everyone. So there came graphical user interface. So in the graphical user interface, you just see the desktop, you see the icons, colorful icons, everything, and you can search these much programs, all that, correct? So this is because of the GUI. So in the same way, if you are trying to open a calculator, if you want to open a calculator, so you can see the calculator is also open, right? And you can do any operation over here. So this one is doing, but in GUI we have icons, we have direct functionalities. So GUI stands for graphical user interface, which enables user to engage with computer application through visual symbols, right, rather than text commands. GUI sometimes pronounce this GUI use image like elements. So using Python programming, we can create GUI application. Like you want to create your own calculator, correct? So using Python, you can create your own calculator. You can decide the color, you can decide the font, you can decide the size of the calculator, and what functionality will it have. Like you want to create your own function, correct? So that GUI development you can do, and this will be done using the different libraries that are available in the Python, like Kinter, right?
Yes.
Like Kinter. So you have these libraries, Kinter, you have PyQt. So we have different library, PyQt, PySide. We have, these are the very famous library, Kiwi, you can say. So people are using these libraries as per their requirement, and every library has its own advantage, its own limitation, and its own advantage. But the important thing is that using Python, we can do the GUI development. We can create any custom application that can be installed on any machine, right? So that will be doing some functionality. And using Python, we can also create the scientific and numeric application, right? We can also create scientific and numeric applications. So these things we can also create using scientific and numeric application. So for this you will be using different library, like very famous library pandas, correct? You might have heard SciPy. So this library is also used, IPython. So these libraries are available, and inside these libraries there are different classes, methods, function, all that you can use. And we can also do the custom software development. So we can create different application, AI based application. So many things are available. So different libraries we have, like Roundup. So very famous library that we use for this one. And system administration, we can also this system administration. So system administration means if there is any typographical error, don't mind, right? So system administration means we are doing different tasks on our computer, and we are just providing the configuration, monitoring, performance, troubleshooting, and issues, right? So all these things can also be done using Python application. So now almost everything whatever are required, like you want to make web application, you want to do web application development, you want to create GUI, you want to create scientific and numeric application, you want to do software development, you want system administration software. So everything, IoT device application, so that will come inside this one, right? Software development, drone handling, everything. So it is providing us rich feature. So because of these rich features, we can say Python is a rich programming language. Python is gaining more and more popularity. Python is gaining more and more popularity day by day because of these things. So the community, every programming language, when it comes into existence, there is always a community. Suppose you create a community of some students who will be participating in solving some DSA problem, correct? So you have created a community of BTech first semester, and these students will be taking membership in this, and every day there will be 5 questions of DSA from beginner to advanced level, and these people will be solving these problems by using different approach, and then this community will decide which approach is better in terms of time complexity, in terms of storage, in terms of speed complexity, everything, whatever is possible. So community means a group of people, a group of programmers, a group of developers who are just involved in any particular kind of action around any task, correct? So in the same way, there is a big name that is PSF. That is a big name, that is PSF. And this one is Python Software Foundation. This one is Python Software Foundation, right? So it is the community of millions of programmers. Python Software Foundation is the community of millions of programmers, developers, engineers, researchers, scholars, tech giants, all the people who are doing some researches in Python programming, are providing new ideas, contributing freely. So people take the membership of Python Software Foundation, and then they contribute their own ideas, their research results, their understanding. So if this one is having a global community, people are loving this programming language to use. So suppose if a programming language that is used by 100 programmers, if there is a programming language that is used by 10 million programmers, so which one is more reliable? You can say the programming language which is used by 10 million programmers, because the community support is also there. Because if there are number of people, researchers, programmers across the globe, then they will promote it, they will protect it, they will add new things for its advancement, everything will be there, correct? So now you got the answer why Python programming language is very popular nowadays, right? If you are talking about modern application, you want to go in the stream of data science, you want to go in AI or ML, right? Or deep learning, or any NLP, natural language processing. So many things can be done using Python programming, correct? Even though since start of my career, I have worked on different programming languages with course of time, but I find nowadays we are also using Python in developing AI based application, correct? We are using Python in developing data science based application. We are using Python in machine learning to train our models, right? So that's why it has become so much popular and it is widely used by millions of people across the globe.
Yes.
So you must always remember why Python is so popular, why everyone is talking about Python, and what is the meaning of Python Software Development Foundation. People, it is a community of the programmers, researchers, analysts, all the people who are contributing directly or indirectly to Python community. So they take membership over here and they just donate, and that's why this one is this one is available for everyone. Now we have another word. You might have heard open source. There is
Yes,
a
sir.
term open source, right? So what is the meaning of open source, right? What is the meaning of open source? We will just try to read from here. We will not go in very deep, but see, open source refers to the practice of making product source code, design, and other content publicly available for use. Okay?
Yes.
If there is any programming language, if there is any technology which is available for the people to make the new source code, to make new changes, and it is publicly available, right? So if you think okay, I am using pandas and some function can be enhanced, some function can have other functionalities as well, so you can contribute, but that will be tested rigorously, that will be tested. That it does not mean someone has written few lines of code and has submitted this code for the review and then it will be tested rigorously based on different benchmarks, different testing techniques, and by in different circumstances. So if it is feasible, then that will be added in Python library. Okay,
Yes.
so open source means there is a term licensed software, there is a term licensed software
Yes.
versus open source. So open source means it is available for the public. It means we have accessibility of source code, we have accessibility of design, we can see the content policy publicly. This allows anyone to study, this allows anyone to study how this programming has been made, and you can make changes as well. You can make changes as well if you find there is something wrong or something can be enhanced in future, something can be made more better than today. You can share the software, you can share the software. And fostering a collaborative decentralized model of development. So this is very important line. Fostering collaborative decentralized model. That means the code is not kept on only one center and nobody can use. This is not with open source technologies. This is not with open source software. It is available for everyone. Everyone can collaborate with other community members, other engineers, other developers, and decentralized model of development. That means you cannot say very few 10 20 or 100 people are making something for the Python programming or any open source programming language or any technology. Millions of people are working from different places, correct?
Yes.
So that means decentralized. That means decentralized. For example, you have a data and you have data on server and it is kept only at one place. So it is a centralized one. But
Yes.
if we just talk about data of Facebook, so do you think Facebook data is centralized? No. The Facebook data for every country is decentralized and kept at different locations and places. Similarly, it is happening with all the cloud like Google Cloud, Azure Cloud, IBM, everyone, correct? So, open source is available for public for the distribution, for the changes, for the collaborative development, and it is also available for the acceptability, for suggestion, everything. For example, Linux operating system, correct? So, Linux operating system, millions of projects are running on this operating system. So, what are the features of open source? What are the features of open source? Publicly accessible source code. That means for any framework, for any technology, for any programming, the entire source code is available in the public for research and development, correct?
Yes.
Next important thing, license grant rights. An open source license grants user the freedom to use, study, change, and distribute the software and its source code. Suppose you are running a company and in the starting you are spending millions of dollars in purchasing the license, right? So it can be for some people, but it is not for everyone, right? So people are preferring open source technologies, open source programming languages, so that their budget remains very low in the software development. Otherwise, they will have to purchase license. They will have to
Yes.
purchase license. For example, we are using Windows operating system on our machine, so we will have to take license of Windows operating system. Why?
Yes.
If we want to use the all features, if we want to use all the features, so different marketing plans, like we can have enterprise edition, we can have home edition, we can have other commercial edition, so we can purchase these license and accordingly we can use the feature of these operating system. But if we talk about Linux operating system, right, so Linux operating system is open source and it is freely available. It is freely available. You don't need to buy or purchase license. Next feature, collaborative development. So collaborative development, open source often involves collaborative and public development approach where a global community works together to improve the software. Transparency, the important thing. The open nature of the code promotes transparency in development process. That means everyone knows what is happening internally. Correct? So that is
Yes.
also transparent to everyone. Flexible and customization. According to your project, you can make some changes in that technology and you can use according to your requirement, according to your project. So
Yes.
these are the basic benefit like innovation. Open source provides us facility to make innovation because it is freely available, cost effective, access to free open source can reduce
Yes.
development cost. Next, security. Yes, one important thing, there are security risks as well because it is open source.
Open
Community
source. Yes.
reviews everything, but sometimes there can be various flaws. Correct? There can be different mistakes that can exist if these are skipped, if these are not monitored carefully. So this one can be a risk as well, but people are using. And community support, many open source projects benefit from large active community and provide support for the resource. For example, operating system. Linux is a prime example of widely used open source operating system.
Operating
That
system.
means, yes, people are using Linux operating system and developing application. Millions of application, enterprise level application are running, banking software, research, military application, so many application are running on Linux operating system because it is long time tested, but it is open source. Correct? Databases, many open source databases are available if you want to handle the database. Search and observability, so if you want open source data source for analysis, then it is also available. So there are many important things. You must understand the terminology first before studying any programming language, right? Suppose after some day some person ask, can you tell me what is the meaning of open source? Now you should be able to explain these things. Yes, I know what is the meaning of open source technology, what is the meaning of open source programming language, what are the benefits, what are the risks, what are the examples. Correct? So in today's class, what did you learn? Now you tell me.
So we learned about what are the things which we can do using Python.
Yes, absolutely
There are
correct.
several things
Hmm.
like we can do web development, GUI development, the which we learned before.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. So using Kinter.
Hmm.
Yes. And scientific and numeric application using some of the modules and so a specific type of thing in
Libraries.
Python.
Yeah.
Yes, libraries.
And what is the term open source? Right?
So एक type of source मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर जो कि सबके लिए so which is available for everyone,
Yes.
which anyone can implement in their own system
Hmm.
and use it. Uh, so as it is, so as it is open source, so it can have some
Flaws.
bugs and flaws.
Bugs
Yes,
are flaws. Very good. And there is a global community where people do their contribution in
yes,
the enhancement of that technology, which is open source, and it is cost effective. The major important thing is cost
cost effective.
effectiveness. In starting, we do not need to buy license, all these things. So for research and development, everything, if we are going to purchase license, then it would not be easier for everyone. Correct? So, okay. Okay. So we will continue with Python live class daily. Daily means on alternate days, right? So we will be covering Python for data science, because we are not going to do the GUI web development, right? We are not going to do the GUI development. Because you are willing to go in the stream of data science, so that will be around Python for data science, correct? That will be around that. But the important thing is statistics, mathematics. So